Hello and welcome to Goddard Farms. We're back with another episode of Taheton County, and today we are going to be doing a little bit more planting. We've got quite a few fields to knock out here, and we're going to have a little bit of a surprise. The dealer called us up and he's got a deal on letting us get a demo of a new case setup for the RowCrop ready here. So we'll be checking that out in just a little bit, but first we've got to knock out this little field that is right up here behind the dealership. And today I'm going to try and remember to use our row marker so that we can handle these headlands a little bit better. Oh my goodness, I'm going to hate these crooked rows for the rest of the year as we're looking at them. Maybe this series will teach me to drive a little bit better in Farm Sim, or maybe it's just going to be a disaster the entire time. I don't know. However, this field is so small, I don't know that we're going to be able to handle it properly. I'm trying to think about how I'm going to do this. We may end up just doing one headland pass on this and then knocking out the long rows here. I don't know which way I'm going to call the long rows, probably along the railroad track. I'm not sure though. We'll figure it out once we're done taking a headland pass off. And honestly, the only reason I'm trying to take a headland pass off is I'm not sure if I've got enough room to turn around. Maybe here I'll drive straight off into the grass and then we'll just come back in the other way. Now here's the problem. My marker arm isn't going down far enough to count as being in the ground there. That's unfortunate. So we are not going to have a marker there anyway. So let's get turned around here and see how bad it is. Where that left off, we may just have to wing it like we did on the other field. Very unfortunate. And if we spin back in here, yeah, we lost the marker arm about halfway down that because of the incline. Unfortunate, but is what it is. And I think here we are gonna just have a couple double rows as we go straight down the railroad track bit here. I'm losing about a row into the grass over there though. Let's see if I can get this arm back out though. We can at least pretend that we're going to drive straight along this side on our way back down. If I can drive straight enough to claim to be following the railroad tracks here. There we go. I feel like the lines on the field are leading me astray. I need to be watching that grass edge over there because I'm picking up additional field the farther down this way we go. Oh my goodness. And I don't want that arm to be digging up my end rows, so right about there, we gotta lift it up, and then lift this up, and spin around right back into the next row. It's not pretty, folks, but it's gonna look somewhat realistic. Now, I don't dare pretend that I'm gonna be able to do this from outside the cab, because the only way I know how to drive down a line is to line it up with my hood ornament. So we're gonna do that and drop the planter in, and away we go. Now I'm noticing a significant drop in frame rates here planting with RowCrop ready, so I'm starting to wonder how well this is gonna work out. We might have to tweak some settings down even on my machine here to make sure we're getting a smooth frame rate while we're doing this, but alas, it does seem to be working. And the problem is I'm going to run out of a line right about there, so we're just going to have to wing it now. We'll go outside, see if I can just keep a good heading here. And this is where you wish that you had the ability to shut some of the rows off as we were going in. I did look at the Pro Seed mod, but that's really set up to do tram lines, not so much this. And of course, I forgot to put my markers down again, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I did. So now I don't have a line to follow, and we're gonna be winging it on the way back up. Oh my goodness. I could have done any number of things there, folks. I could have set up the GPS. I could have put down a planter marker. I did none of those, so we're just gonna wing it. This field is so small that fighting with a few crooked rows when it comes harvest time is just gonna be a thing, apparently. But at least it's pretty short rows, and it's not like it's right up next to the dealership where every farmer in town's gonna see how crooked our rows are. That's definitely a bonus, right? Will be the talk of the town. Oh, there's quite a bit of hill over here. I should not be trying to drive up this with such an expensive rig as this planter. And I did it again. Oh my goodness, folks. We didn't put the marker arm down that time either. Well, at this point, we're just going to accept our fate and, have the crookedest rows in the realm. So I'm pretty sure that course play can't do any worse than we're doing right now. And that's why I think what we're going to do, now that we've got all these rows done, is I'm going to fold this up. We're going to head back up to the farmyard, and I'm going to top everything off here. And we're going to not drive across our entire field like this, but we're going to kick course play off on starting to plant that really big field with corn that's right up next to the farm. And then we're going to switch out, and we're going to get this case planter set up that's sitting right up here next to the dealership, and we're going to take that out for a spin and plant some soybeans in our 2 remaining fields. Oh my goodness, look at those rows. Beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. And as we drive by the dealership here, man, I hope he wasn't talking about this old case planter. I'm really hoping it's this nice setup parked in the lot right over here. Take out this nice case row track with the planter next to it. I think that would be a good setup for us. It would definitely work well with my plan to continue to use tracked vehicles on the farm whenever possible. So I'm gonna be coming up here in just a minute, and we'll pick that tractor up and take her out for a spin. Now, I took all of the advice I've gotten in the comments in the last couple of videos, and we did darken up the area here for refill point. I think that all of the liquid that's getting used is being used out of the planter right now, so I'm going to go ahead and back this into that spot. Now that I figured out we can remove fences, I'd really like to move these bins over along the long part of our driveway there at some point. But for right now, we're right inside the zone. Why am I not getting a refill option? That's a little strange. Oh, that's right. This one is reversed. It's the front attach point for the planter. Yeah, there we go. And then I should be able to, I have to move out of the zone and come back into it to fill up the seed. Is that right? Yep, that's what it is. All right, so for whatever reason on this tractor, when I'm refilling it, it's the front mode that I have to be in to get this thing refilled. I don't understand it. The little tractor icon up there in the upper left-hand corner that tells you which implement you've got selected. But we're going to switch back to the one in the back now, because that's the one I have to do to use unfolding and raising and lowering for whatever reason. And we'll get this thing unfolded here. It's one of the slowest unfolding animations I've ever seen. I guess we're going for realism here. These things take a little bit to unfold in real life. There we go. Well, while that's going, we can go ahead and generate a course play course. And we are going to do 2 headland passes. We're going to start work on the headlands. I don't know which headland corner mode I should go for. I'm thinking sharp. Headland overlap is going to be a 0% for a change. And we'll see how this goes. Yeah, looks good. All right, so we're gonna start her off at the first waypoint and hope everything goes well. I don't know how this is gonna go, folks, but it's got an hour and a half to do it in. I'm sure we'll have a interesting field here to check out at some point in the future. In the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into this row track that we've got up here. I can't wait to try this thing out. We've got the RowCrop 420 and a 2150 24 row planter here all set up. And let's see here. Yep, we've got a nice interior on this thing. I think I've used this tractor in the past, but it's been a bit since I've been in something like this, so I'm excited to try it out. and I'm having trouble controlling my camera. There we go. We're gonna bring this back up to the farm. Oh, we've got a license plate on there. Oh, my bad. We're just leasing this one. We're gonna bring this thing up to the farm though and get the seed and fertilizer all set up here, and that's gonna allow us to go start doing soybeans, I think is my plan with this particular planter, and we'll see how it goes. Now, before I fill this thing up, I'm just now noticing that even though I downloaded the RowCrop ready version of this off of Custom Modding's Facebook page, I'm not seeing RowCrop ready fill types, and I think there's probably a small tweak to the XML I'm going to have to make, and hopefully this thing is going to work. We may be setting ourselves up for failure, but supposedly this thing was supposed to be the RowCrop ready version of the planter. I got it right off of the custom modding page, so we're gonna go check the XML file real quick and see if I need to make a tweak or if we've been completely fooled. We'll be right back. So I'm out here in Windows and I'm just doing a quick compare of the XML files here, and I'm noticing that the seed of fruit type categories here is set to planter, where if I compare to the other one, this needs to be set to row crop, I believe, to work correctly. So we're gonna just double check to make sure. Yeah, that's not defined here. That's defined somewhere on the map. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this change, and I'm gonna save this file out. We're gonna see if that's all I need to do, or maybe we're going to be out of luck. I'll find out in just a moment. And we are back into the game here, and it does look like that has at least set the fruit types up correctly. Whether or not this is going to work remains to be seen, so let me go ahead and get this thing ready to go here. We'll see about filling it up. I'm gonna pull forward here. How do I open my covers? I don't want to. N doesn't seem to be working to open my covers here. I might have to rebind that like I've had to do in the past. I don't know what it is about some mods. This is one of those things in Farm Sim that consistently irks me. There we go. Rebinding it to a different key works every time. We'll go ahead and start filling up now. Oh, it's not going to let me start filling anyway. What is wrong with this this implement? I hope it's just weirdness with the fill point. We might have to figure out another way. This is the second thing I've had trouble with trying to fill here. Maybe it's just that I need to drive out of it and drive back in now that I've got the covers open. We'll try it. And if that doesn't work, we're going to have to... Yeah, I'm not getting a fill anywhere in here. We're driving all over the place with this articulated tractor while I'm trying to look at the menu to see if we've gotten anything. I don't see that I'm getting a fill dialog anywhere though. So let me spin around here and come at it from the other side real quick. It's always something though on Ketic Farms here. You try and use a cool looking new mod and things just don't always work out for you. And I'm getting nothing this way too. I'm gonna back it in though, just to make sure we're close enough. Yeah, I'm getting nothing anywhere in this zone. Alrighty then. Well, let me at least see if the planting functionality works. I'm trying to think what another way to do this would be. Maybe if I just buy a pallet of seed and we try that real quick. Just once, I would love for things to work out rather than everything being a random adventure here. I'm going to buy a bag of seeds and I'm going to buy a container of liquid fertilizer, even though I've got tons of it in our storage there. And we're just gonna drive up alongside this thing and see if we get the automatic fill from container options at least. If we do, we can then test the mod out in the field and see what happens. Well, there it goes down, so we're clearly detecting it. But no, it's not going to let me fill this. So I'm guessing that this mod is just not properly set up for the fill types like it should be, and that this is not that it's not accepting seed, it's that it's not set up to handle the RowCrop stuff appropriately. I'll have to look. I downloaded it. The zip file in my directory says RowCrop ready. You know, this is what I get for trying to test mods out in a video as opposed to just testing everything out off camera. But, you know, I figure a lot of people out there would want to see a mod like this. And no, the liquid fertilizer's not going in there either, which seems unusual to me. That should at least be filling. So there you go. There you have it. This is me downloading the RowCrop ready version of this planter off of the custom modding Facebook page, and no luck at all. So I guess we'll be sticking with our John Deere version here, and I'm probably going to be refunding myself all the money we spent leasing this equipment here, because this is a total bummer, and I don't have the fortitude at this point to go through and finish fixing this mod altogether for getting it RowCrop ready. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, I'll be honest. So I couldn't help myself. I had to come out here and double check, and this is on Patreon custom modding, and there definitely looks like a RowCrop rose here, and they're talking about RowCrop, but they don't specifically say RowCrop ready. So I wonder if they just changed it to do the planting texture like this, and it's not actually taking advantage of the RowCrop ready stuff. I'm not sure, but either way, it's not working. I guess I can put it back to how it was, and we'll plant with it using normal crops, and we'll see what happens. I'll waste a field on that. It's a science experiment. Let's figure it out together. So back in game, we're gonna try and fill up with the normal seed here again. Not so much. I actually went and re-downloaded the mod from that link just to make sure everything was on the up and up, and I still can't seem to fill this particular planter. So I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna try and back into a couple of different orientations here. Maybe it's like straight on the back instead of off to the side a little bit. No, nothing there. It's clearly detecting it. The hoppers open up. It's just not actually doing anything, which is very, very unfortunate. I'm gonna switch around here a little bit between being selected on the tractor. Nope, that doesn't do it. Selected on the planter. That's not doing it. It doesn't seem that anything is going to work here. I'm gonna move this stuff off of the back wall here a little bit just to put me into another location. There we go. I'm filling the liquid fertilizer from this side now. That part I wasn't as concerned about. I kind of figured that there'd be a tank or something, but it's just the left side for filling. It did not work from the other sides at all. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're gonna see if we can get that to fill into this tank now. I swear I backed it up both ways before, though. I'm not even sure what's going on, but I did get something into it this time. Now I'm wondering if I need to go back and re-enable the RowCrop fill types like I had originally, if maybe it really was just an issue with getting the seed and fertilizer into it. We're gonna try everything out, though. Looks like our planter's been busy. We're running over our headland rows here. And let's see if we can get anything to happen here. All right, I'm gonna open up the bins manually. There we go, we are filling up now. All right, let's see if I can do the same thing with the fertilizer. Not so much. You know, sometimes I just wish things would work out. I don't know what the problem is. We're having all kinds of problems, though. Let's take out a... Well, let me not take out a loan. I was going to say, let me take out a loan and get a little bit more fertilizer. But let me just take this thing over to a field. Man, now I really want to go and swap this back out and put the RowCrop soybeans in here like you're supposed to. Sorry, buddy. We're squeezing through. We're going to take this out to... Oh, where am I going? The field that we need to do is actually right off the backside of the farm. One moment. Okay, first things first. I'm going to test this mod as you download it without making any modifications to it. That way I can know what's going on. My plan is I'll do just one strip here with normal soybeans, and then I will go back out and make the edit to the mod to switch this over to RowCrop soybeans, and we will see if there is a difference here or not. Here we go. One run of normal soybeans. Yeah, that's broken right there. All right, so I am back, and a couple of things jump out at me. So I did make the change to make this row crop soybeans. The other thing, though, I noticed is it was planting in the actual rows here when we were putting it down. So at least that part is working correctly. Now, because it's eating my seed on me, we're going to come in here and actually fill up the seed this way because, well, I feel a little bit cheated by how much effort this has taken. And we're going to drop this down and see how many bushels an acre row crop soybeans are going to consume. Looks like about 2 bushels an acre, which seems more reasonable. That's what this one is consuming. So that is going to help us out quite a bit there. That's one more change done, and you know what? I guess we signed up for it. We're going to plant this field ourselves, but I'm just now realizing that I remapped Z to be my open containers button, and that is also the button for the arms by default. Oh boy. Well, let me see if we can find what that is. That's going to be under vehicle. I wonder if it's going to be called planter arms. Probably not. It's going to be called something else. Tool function 4. What happens if I make that N instead? Because that was a problem for us. And now if I push N, there we go. All right, we've just inverted those. Try to remember that. And off we go. We'll see if this thing is going to be a problem for us. This may be a complete disaster, and oh, just like our other planter, the arm's not going down to the ground. Excuse me, I've been getting over a terrible cold the last few weeks, and it's still hanging on there. But we're powering through. There may be a cough here and there that gets through the editing. My editor has been doing an amazing job, though. And you know what else I just realized? This thing is not applying my liquid fertilizer. Because soybeans don't need liquid fertilizer, I'm an idiot. Okay, welcome to Kedrick Farms, where I have not only been playing Farm Sim with precision farming for 4 or 5 years since it came out on FS19, I also used to work on a real-life farm. Sometimes you just forget the basics. So, yeah, you guys are probably kicking me since way back when. Why are you putting fertilizer in your planter when you're going to be planting soybeans with it? Well, folks, we might switch the seed out and plant corn a little bit later on. That's what's really going on here. We'll see how it goes. Now, you might notice a little bit of stuttering. That is because with row crop planting, running 2 planters at once seems even slower than when I was running 1 planter. And as you can see, my frame rates have now dropped to an abysmal 13 FPS. That's pretty bad. So I'm not sure if this row crop planting thing is going to be very sustainable for us in the long run. Yeah, I don't know. We're thinking about it. We're playing with it. And you know what? I'm experimenting with this so you don't have to. We'll see how well it works out over the course of this episode. We've got 3 more fields to plant, and we'll see if we make it past another season before we switch out to maybe a non-row crop ready version of this map. I'm not sure. We'll have to play around with it here a little bit as we get through the season. I want to make it through at least 1 year, no matter how painful it is to get through, because I want to see what all other issues we run into. I know there's some comments people have made about different things that I'm going to run into with the sell points not being set up, the bin sites not being set up. And so we're gonna power through. We're gonna figure this all out. I'm curious to see what other problems there are and if we can find fixes for all of them. So thus far, the only change we've made here is to, this particular mod, which I already showed earlier in the episode. It's the same change that I showed off there. And so if you want to get this planter working for RowCrop already on your playthrough, that is pretty much the only thing that I've had to do is swap out that seed fruit type in the XML file. Now I'm going to put this arm back out. Whoa, it's a little close to the other rows. We're going to wait a second, and I'll put that arm back out when we get just up to the corner here so that I'm not tearing up our other part of the planted rows, because this thing, does act as tillage, and I think it might wreck those rows when I do that. So we did manage to still hit a couple of rows. And here, man, I don't know if I should really be doing this like I'm doing it right now. Come to think of it, you know what? We're going to lift up. And the reason I'm lifting up is I think we're going to do our straight rows on this field in the direction I'm going right now. No. You know what? We really messed this up. And this is the first time I'm really planting this field. So let me think about this a little bit. We were so focused on the mod issues, I didn't think about where we'd want our planting lines to be. We're going to have some double rows right there. But realistically, I would drive through this grassway and I would want to plant my rows perpendicular to the direction I'm driving right now. So I'm going to go back down here to the end of the field, and we're going to keep doing the headlands the way we were going originally. And this will just be our little secret here in the middle of the field as we learn a little bit about how we want to plant with these RowCrop rows. And this is half of the fun for me, is kind of figuring out how I'd want to do this. Now, I'm sure in real life, a farmer probably would have thought things through a little bit more than I have, but it is what it is. And we're going to slap this arm down over here. We're going to get out of the grass, and we're going to take this all the way up and around the field. And then when we're working our way down here, we'll just drive through that waterway there, I believe. That's the plan. I have to say the low frame rates is starting to make me a little bit nauseous. I don't enjoy playing with the choppiness, but I had to turn the camera back on so that you guys could see me make a perfect corner. That's right, we're gonna call it perfect. I'm gonna look behind us real quick. Yeah, that's about as close as we get here on Kedrick Farms. Oh, we're driving way over off to the side. My bad. Now they're all crooked. It's a good thing the rows won't grow up to show us that for the whole rest of the season. All right, we're all over the place, folks. We're going to make another perfect corner here, just like so. Come on, you can guess right. Is that right? It's looking close. Oh, we're going to hit the bush. Oh, we got it. Look at that. Now, this is the important part. This is exactly where I want to be lined up so that I can go forward. So let's see if, is it control end? There it is. We are now GPSed. This is going to be our up down row direction. And so for that, I can actually lift up the line here. We'll call it good. I like it. And our GPS, it's flashing a bit there as it keeps us on board, but we are driving in the right direction. I wish it'd stop blinking. That's going to drive me nuts. Looking over here, I can see Courseplay doing so much better of a job than we've done. Oh, look at how nice and straight that is. There's not any overlap on those end rows. Oh, it's beautiful. Good job, Courseplay. We're going to hire you to do the rest of our fields, that's for sure. Oh my goodness. All the fields by the roads, at least, where the other farmers can see our rows. We're going to hire the worker to go do those. I can't believe I'm saying that a worker's doing a better job than I am in Farm Sim. Oh, that's a strike to the ego there. but alas, we'll take it. We'll do what we can to get through this field. And yeah, let me knock out the second headland pass here, and we can really get rocking and rolling on this field. Now, I'm gonna try and lift up. Oh my gosh, we lifted up 2 feet too early. We're almost there. It is what it is. Now, I did lower the arm on this headland pass over here on my right, and it just didn't touch the ground, unfortunately. So I'm thinking, because it butts up against the waterway and everything there, that we actually probably don't need a second headland pass. At least on this end. On the other end, we probably do. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna turn right back into the next row, and we will do the other headland when we get down there. That's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. We were lined up a little bit crooked, but the actual GPS course is spot on. Look at those rows. I like it. This is what it's all about. And there we go. A little bit better this time. And I messed this up because, yeah, I meant to do the second headland pass down here. That's all right. We'll figure it out. It'll just be super awkward. We're going to spin right around here and follow this line in. So I've got to get lined up here. Oh no, I can't see my hood ornament. We're like short mode. Well, let me pull forward here. And am I still lined up? I'm not anywhere near lined up, but we're gonna go for it. We'll figure it out as we go. And this is gonna be one of those blind drive and pray type situations where we just hope that everything's working out. Don't know how this is gonna go, especially as I get up here. Maybe I will go external for this part. So I can kind of get a feel for when I should start turning, because you got to kind of turn later with the planter and line it up. Oh, the GPS globe on the top is actually better than being in cab because I don't have a hood ornament on this thing. This is working a lot better. I suppose I could zoom out so we could actually see where we're planting. We're hugging a little bit close to the other rows there, but not too bad. Go wide here. Oh, I'm crossing over a couple of rows. It's a little bit awkward with how long back the planter is to account for that delay when you're turning on the rows with this thing. I'm used to driving a 12-row planter that was 3-point mounted to the back of our tractor, and that was a lot easier to account for, but it is what it is. And I'm going to take this all the way down here till we get to right about there. And then I'm going to swing up here and, oh, it's going to kill me. I think I am going to plant the double rows though and just get it over with. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, and then we left a space. That's going to drive at least half of you nuts. That's all right. It is what it is. And then I'm just going to take this all the way up to the corner here. And then we'll call it good, since I don't have a good sense of where this goes. So right about there, we're going to call it. And when I get to doing the straight rows, we will sort that all out. I mean, I guess we have the GPS already here. We could sort out where that's going to be right now. If y'all want, we're down here. Let's do it. I'm going to turn into this row right here. I'm going to turn on the GPS. And let's see where it thinks our row should be. Right there. Okay. Lowering down. Wow, that was a long delay on that lower. And lifting up. I think we're going to have to back up and get that spot. Oh, what is going on? The GPS really freaked out there for a second. Well, that's not going to work out for us because we got all out of kilter. Let's turn around and we'll grab this little spot here. And GPS won't disengage even when I crank my wheel all the way to the side. I had to go left to right. We're having a few problems here tonight, folks. All right, let's give this one more shot. I hope I've got enough room to pull forward to get this planter to the edge without running into that. It's gonna be tight. Oh, those are some ugly rows. All right, I'm gonna go around this thing. I'm gonna get the other part of these short rows. I guess with this huge metal thing in the way, I didn't really think about that as far as being able to drive through rows down here. But it should. Why is my thing lowered? Oh my goodness. Now we're just making a mess for no good reason. I don't have any idea when I bumped the button for that, but we had our thing lowered the entire way around there. We've got too much going on, folks. This is going to be some of the ugliest field that we've ever seen here. I blame the lag from the low frame rates. Well, at least we're out of the goofy rows down here on the end. We're going to go ahead and just straighten this out and continue to work our way back up to the other end of the field here. It should just get easier as we do that. I have to say, though, that the guidance steering, or I'm sorry, this isn't guidance steering, this is the enhanced vehicle mod, and this articulated tractor seem to be a little finicky. It's definitely jerking the wheel back and forth here quite a bit, but then eventually it does seem to level out. So we're gonna hope that it doesn't become too jittery that it's a problem. I'd hate to have to switch back out for guidance steering at this point. I've been really enjoying some of the features and especially the HUD here on the enhanced vehicle mod. And here we go. It's so much easier now. We're gonna drop it in here, balance out missing just a little bit and having a whole crap ton of double rows there. Unfortunately, it is what it is though. And yeah, 9 miles an hour seems to be our top end with this setup. I want to say the other one's going 11 or maybe even 12. Let's go look in the store here real quick out of curiosity. I've got planters, RowCrop ready. This one is, nope, this one's 9 miles an hour as well. All right, so they're on equal footing here. That's probably good. So we're comparing apples to grapes, I guess. It's green. I don't think there's any, well, we could call it apples to apples because there's red and green apples, right? Yeah, we'll go with that. That Courseplay driver's making some solid progress over there. I'm quite impressed. I'm kind of curious to see how much seed and fertilizer he's got left in the tanks, but we'll have to check in on that after a little bit here because I don't trust this guy to a regular farm sim worker, that's for sure. We're gonna, oops, get back into our track here and slam this thing down. There we go. Come on, come on. All right. We've got some slow hydraulics on our tractors here today. Both this one and the other planter have been pretty slow at folding, unfolding, raising, lowering. It is what it is, I suppose, but we've got to keep an eye on things, slow ourselves down a little bit, I suppose. I wonder if, even though this crop doesn't require a fertilizer, if I could like put some down a little bit just to use it up. Oh, we could. What are the keys to change the rate? Would be an M, K and M, K. Yeah, so I could put some nitrogen down now just to use it up and get this closer to ready for corn later on. I kind of like that idea, so I'm going to put a standard 50 down everywhere we're going just because we've got all of this fertilizer in the planter, and I don't know how to get rid of it. It would probably burn the beans maybe a bit if we were really putting it down. Maybe not, I don't know. I just know that it doesn't actually need the nitrogen, and realistically we'd be wasting it. But from a farm sim perspective and the amount of pain and agony I've suffered so far in this episode trying to get this planter to work right, I'm going to do it just to use our materials up. Well, we're almost done here. We did manage to make it around the power line here without crashing into anything. That does mean we'll have a few doubled up rows here. I don't know how else you'd really do this in real life. We didn't really have any big islands in the middle of any of our fields when I farmed in southern Minnesota. So that one's a little bit new to me. I'm kind of curious how you'd handle that because I can't imagine having curved rows all the way down the field once you've gone around something like that. So I have to imagine that it's some manner of shutting rows off when you go through it like that again after the fact, but I don't know. We're making it up as we go today, and this is my final pass. We are not lined up very well here at all, so I'm going to get into my row a little bit, and then we're going to try and back this thing up, see if I can have a little bit better rows than that. We can't really wreck things on the final pass here. We've actually been doing somewhat decent towards the end of the field here. Get set up that way, and let's go. We're gonna drop it down right about there. Slow down, and boom, right on the edge. I like it. Well, here we go. I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't had a chance to go check in on our John Deere driver. Sarah has stopped. Not enough money. Oh my goodness, look at all of those worker fees. Why are we $9,000 in the hole in the middle of the day? We must have course play wages up pretty high. I'm going to take out a little bit of money, and we're just going to get to the end row here, and then we'll go check on the other worker. As curious as I am, I'm on the final pass here. We're going to finish it up real quick. I've just now figured out why we dropped so far so quickly there on our money. It's the leasing costs. We must have passed over 1 hour of utilization with this equipment, and it cost us a pretty penny there in lease fees. I have forgotten about that since I'm not used to the fact that we're leasing equipment here. However, we've got this all done. I'm going to turn this off so we don't accidentally plant on the angled rows here, and we're going to get this pulled up into the yard real quick, and we'll run out and check on this John Deere planter, which has been doing exceptionally well. We're almost done with these longer rows right here. I'm excited. And we didn't use up that much seed. I'm kind of surprised. Honestly, I wish I could remember exact seed rates, and to think I just did all this math for American farming and figured out the actual utilization per acre, but 2 bushels an acre seems kind of low for our soybeans here. I'm not sure, but I seem to remember soybean seed population being pretty high. And we're out here. Oh, we were just getting to an end row when everything got stuck. We're going to start this back off real quick. I'm going to finish the last few feet here. We'll definitely know which ones I did because they don't line up perfectly. And I'm going to get him started on the next row. Nearest waypoint it is right into here, and I have to actually bring it up about the right spot to start, because he's going to lower himself down. We'll be able to see clearly where I had to take over and help out. That's okay. And looking at our corn, we're using a little bit more corn bushels per acre than we are soybeans somehow, and it looks like we've still got a fair amount of fertilizer in here, so we're doing pretty good on that. I'm going to let him keep going and use up everything just because I want to see what a full tank gets me. I could totally stop and refill when we're at the end row there because we'll be down by the tanks, but I'd rather let him keep going, especially now that we took that fence out. It's a lot easier to get out and about in the yard. And yeah, he's got 37 minutes left to go. I think I'm going to let him go. This is a great place to wrap up today's episode. It has been a little bit of a different episode fighting with getting the other planter up and running, but now that it's up and running, it is nice to have 2 of them that we're able to run, knock out some more acres. It was kind of fun to try out some of the other paint equipment and have something to compare and contrast to. So aside from the issues that we've had with it, let me know in the comments which of the planters you like better in general. Obviously, the RowCrop Ready versions seem to have a few quirks, and in addition to that, the RowCrop Ready maps seem to have some quirks here as well that we're working through. Mainly our FPS. It's better now that we're only running one of them, and we're going to run right through this drain tile. Luckily, there's no collisions on it, so no harm, no foul, I suppose we're going to say on that. And yeah, that's all for today. Keterk out.